person is worth it. Ever.
Well, Girls Like Girls follows Coley, who moves to rural Oregon to live with her father after her mother passes away. She meets an outgoing local girl named Sonya, sparking a slow burn summer romance that forces both girls to navigate first love and also grief at the same time. So that is the whole plot of the movie, and let me tell you, this is one of the most anticipated lesbian movies of the year of 2026, and it's finally here, and I will be giving you guys a very short but also interesting review regarding my personal point of view regarding this movie and also everything that happened. So if you guys don't know, like I already said, this movie has been way long awaited. So I was kind of excited to finally see that it's here, and also to see just the interesting reviews that it got. And to be honest, I am a very little bit, not very, but little bit disappointed with everything that has been going on regarding, the movie. A lot of people felt like it wasn't, worth the hype. It wasn't worth the wait. A lot of people, felt like after, months and months and months of promotion that, when the movie finally came, we would have gotten a little bit more of an interesting, plot and storyline. And I can kind of agree with that. I definitely had a little bit more high expectation. Obviously, I didn't feel like it's what's gonna be like a 10 out of a 10 movie. But according to reviews, it kind of got a 6, a 5.5 kind of, feedback review, which is very low. So I'm still here to share it with you all and just to give you all a little bit of context of everything that happened and why, I feel like this movie wasn't worth the wait, but it's still worth to watch, so I will still give it, a good, benefit of the doubt. So we will start off with Coley. Coley must navigate her budding feelings for Sonia, who pushes her away to hide her, attractions towards her, while also dealing with a strained relationship with her father. On the other hand, we have Sonya. She is a very charismatic and popular girl. Sonya has exclusively dated boys in the past and struggles to navigate her sudden romantic feelings for her girl. So how do they actually meet? They actually meet in a restaurant. We can see that Coley, she was just sitting there by herself. She's new in town, so she's kind of just exploring everything, and just trying to situate herself. So we can see Sonia coming in with her group of friends, and obviously Sonia told, Coley to come sit with them, and from that moment on, they just started to spend quality time together and building a friendship at the beginning. But you can see that, they started to get closer and closer to one another, not going out with friends that much and just going out them too. Obviously, Coley, you was seeing, Sonia being so friendly towards her, and that made her feel attracted to her. But she also didn't want to overstep because she felt like that was just Sonia's way, and, Sonia isn't into her, and maybe she's just being friendly because, in this case, it's her friend. But later on, things got a little bit more complicated. Obviously, we can also see Coley's situation with her father, where, her father's also trying his best in order to be there for his daughter, but also navigating his own situations. On the other hand, Sonia also has her own personal family issues and situations as well. So we can basically just one night see that they be having fun and going out, and there came a moment where they actually end up hooking up, in this case, sharing a kiss. Obviously, you can see that after that, things got super awkward with one another. Obviously, Coley, she wanted answers. She wanted to understand what happened. We just shared the kiss. We are friends. What is going on? Do you like me? Why are you treating me like the kiss never happened? Because you can clearly see that Sonia was trying to avoid the conversation. And also later on, you can clearly see that, Coley actually ends up finding out that, Sonia is also planning to move away. So when she actually ends up finding out about that, she kind of felt betrayed because she felt like in this case, Sonia should have told her regarding her, in this case, moving, and, she felt like she was used, and now she's gonna be left alone. She just got to the city. She likes somebody to share a moment, and now that person might be going away. And also she's having a lot of difficulties in this case to adapt to the city. So there is kind of a lot that she was, how can I say, dealing with at the moment that she and Sonya, shared that kiss. She tried to have a conversation with Sonya regarding it, but Sonya was in denial. She didn't want to have a conversation about it. She was just trying to brush it off like it didn't happen. And later on, she actually ends up explaining to Coley why is she like that. She said she doesn't want her mother to find out, about it. She doesn't want to disappoint her parents. Her parents will not take it well, and she just does not want to put that on them. And obviously, Coley actually ends up respecting that, even though she was hurting, but she have decided to, just to walk away from the situation. So you can see that in this case, Sonya, actually ends up leaving, and Coley obviously stays in town. She, in this case, finds a job at the restaurant. She just starts to adapt herself. There was also a moment where she was hooking up with another girl, but that situation was just a fling. It came and went. And as she was, starting to go forward with her life and just exploring new things and adapting, getting a job, you can clearly see that her relationship with her father was also starting to get a little bit better. And there came the moment where Sonya came back in the picture. You at the same restaurant that Coley was working, she was working, and then they had to go sing happy birthday. And that's the moment where they actually end up reconnecting, in this case at the restaurant. And obviously, Sonya was, she was very, very shocked when she saw Coley. She actually approached Coley for her to have a conversation with Coley and telling her, everything, and just kind of apologizing in her own way. But obviously, later on, we can see that they kind of did get the closure that both of them needed. I feel like Coley, she was avoiding a conversation, but Sonya definitely did want to have a conversation with her, because she wanted her to understand that, isn't that she doesn't like her or want to be with her, is that she's not ready to make that move to tell her parents, or in this case her mother, that she is, into a girl, or that she likes a girl. She just doesn't want to put that on her parents, and on her mother. So that was kind of the moral of the movie. To be honest, it's very short. It's a 1 hour and 35-minute long movie. If you guys want to watch it, depending on your location, you can watch it on Apple TV, Prime Video, and movies anywhere. Just, on some platforms you might be willing to buy it, on other platforms you might rent it. It all depends on your location. More of the story, that was it. It's about two girls that fall in love with one another, but the other one doesn't want to accept, that she is falling in love with the other one. The other one has to deal with the consequences of it, but still trying to move forward with her life. And at the end, both of them got closure in their own ways. Simple as that. That's the best resume I can give it. I will definitely rate this movie a strong 5.5 out of a 10. It definitely didn't match up to my expectations. I definitely thought we would get a little bit more of chemistry between them, and a little bit more, I don't know what, maybe romance between them. And we definitely didn't get that. It was more like an emotional, situation. But yeah, it is what it is. It's still worth to watch. Like I said, I will not just discard the movie, but like I said, for a movie that has been highly anticipated for the whole year to come out and not match up, not even half of the viewers' expectations, was kind of a disappointment. But still, hopefully, in the future we can get another version of this, and maybe them being older and being adults, and maybe reconnecting, and maybe that will be a better storyline. But yes, guys, definitely go watch it, go support it, and come back and let me know your personal point of view on it. And if you have watched it as well, let me know your personal point of view on it. I hope you all have enjoyed this video, and goodbye.